All right, great grace and peace, everybody, and welcome on in to the Bread, Wine, and Soul Food channel, where we deal with strictly what nothing but thus saith the Lord, life issues, and this program is designed to keep us encouraged and keep building our faith in the Father and in His Son Jesus Christ. So, peace to everybody that's tuning in, and this is a thing I had picked this up yesterday. I don't know if y'all can see this, but look at this. So this is what we supposed to be. Let me hide this real quick. Let me hide this. This right here, these are the attributes that we supposed to be displaying or acquiring when we apply this word. So these are the fruits of the spirit. And of course, as you can see, the fruit of the spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, which is temperance. It's kind of they use some different words, but if you go and look in uh, Galatians 5:22, it'll tell you what the fruit of the spirit is. So this is what we are trying to make sure that we are displaying these fruits all the time as a disciple of Christ. So anyway, with that being said, as you all can see, once again, welcome on in. And I want to say praise be unto the Almighty God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in Jesus' name, because truly without him, we can't do nothing. For in him do we live and move and have our being. It's all about the Lord. So anyway, look, we're going to have a look at this today. And this is going to be brief. We got about 12 scriptures. So plan on sticking around for about 40 minutes to an hour, somewhere around there. So what we're going to have a look at is a few ways God gets our attention. Discomfiture. So we're going to have a look at what this definition is. We're going to look up discomfiture, and we're going to show how God sometimes he does things to get our attention. And if you don't pay attention, ultimately you're going to see him at the end. So we're going to have a look at this real quick. Let me show y'all what this definition for discomfiture is. It says a feeling of unease or embarrassment, awkwardness. So it's also vexation, discomfort, uneasiness, confusion, agitation, nervousness, perturbation, disorientation, shame, distress, so on and so forth. But what we're going to do, we're going to have a look at the scriptures that apply to us. A lot of these scriptures are coming out of the Old Testament as well. But once again, we believe the complete Bible. Jesus said he came in a volume of the book. So it wasn't too many examples of just being discomforted or discomforted in the New Testament. So this is why we're going to kind of hang around in the Old Testament. But nevertheless, the whole Bible is agreeing with each other, or everything is in conjunction with each other. And let's go over here. Let me get this screen pulled up. Let's pull up this Bible. So we're going to start this out in Psalms 119. And we're going to look at verse 167. And that's what's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. And what we're going to have a look at is God can do some things and try to get your attention, because it could be that you straying too far away. It could be that, you didn't messed up, and he wants you to acknowledge where you made your mistakes at and confess your sin. But we're going to have a look at this though. Let's look at this Psalms 119, and let's pick it up at verse 167. Oh, let me hide this so y'all can get a good view on that. So Psalms 119, and we'll pick it up at verse 67. So look at what David said. He said, before I was afflicted, I went astray. So before I got the hammers dropped on me, I was going astray. I was doing whatever it was I wanted to do. He said, but now have I kept thy word. So, hey, once we start cleaning up our life and doing what thus said the Lord, this is going to apply to us as well, because God can be dropping things on you little by little. He could flatten your tire on the way to work. He can do many things to get your attention. And if you don't come back to him after that, he lets you do whatever you want to do. But remember, everything that we do we're going to have to stand in judgment. We're going to have to answer for that. So we want to be careful. So let's have a look at this now. Let's skip down to verse 71. Let's look at 71. He said, it is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes. So this is how we grow. We get afflicted because those uncomfortable situations that God put us in, those are there to make you grow, or to at least consider and turn back to God, because we have problems all the time, so, and these problems sometimes arise out of nowhere. So what do we need to do? We need to call on the God who we cannot see, but we know is there to help us. All right. So he said, it is good for me that I have been afflicted. So it's good to get afflicted. He said that I might learn thy statutes. Let's go and look at something else. Let's go and look in Exodus, because we're going to see how the Lord discomfited the Egyptians when he was delivering the children of Israel out of Egypt. So let's go and have a look at this. And peace to everybody that's tuning in. And I want to say, I appreciate you all and I thank you all, because if it wasn't nothing but one person over here tuning in, this is who I'm doing it for. I'm doing this because, hey, we all need help. We all need encouragement, and we need to be staying mindful of what thus saith the Lord each and every day. So I'm here to help you all. I'm here to help us, So let's go and look at this. Let's go and look at Exodus 14, and let's pick it up at verse 23. Let's see what this says. Oh, that's the wrong chapter. Exodus 14. It didn't go in. Exodus 14. And what's going on? Okay, here we go. 14 to 23. I'm going to hide this banner. 14:23. So look, this is when the Lord was delivering the children of Israel out of Egypt. And let's have a look at what he said. Because when the Lord is against you, when he's fighting against you or trying to get your attention, you better pay attention. You better start considering. You better drop to your knees and ask the Lord, what do you want me to do? Humble yourself, because if you don't, you're in trouble. You got to see him. Look, he said, the Lord shall fight for you and ye shall hold your peace. Wait a minute. The Lord will fight for you and you shall hold your peace. No, I'm at verse 23. I'm sorry, y'all. Forgive me. 23. So here we go. He said, the Egyptians pursued and went in after them to the midst of the sea. So the Egyptians was chasing after the children of Israel after the Lord had delivered them with a high hand. And here we are, we seeing that the Egyptians is right here in the middle of the Red Sea. He said, even all Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his horsemen. So they chasing after Israel, but they not realizing at this time the Lord is going to deliver them. Watch this. He said, and it came to pass that in the morning watch, the Lord looked unto the hosts of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and of the clouds. So the Lord was peeking through the clouds, seeing what was going on. He said, and troubled the hosts of the Egyptians. He said he troubled their host. Let's see how he troubled them. He said, and took off their chariot wheels, that they drave them heavily, so that the Egyptians said, let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fighteth for them against the Egyptians. So you start to realize, wait a minute, man. He took off they chariot wheels. So let's consider anytime anything is out of order or it's not going the way that it should for us, or the way that we think it should be going, we need to be asking ourselves, Lord, is this something that I've done? What is the meaning of this? What did I do? What are you trying to show me? What is the lesson that you want me to learn? Because obviously the Lord can do little things like this to get you to come back to him or to grab your attention. And the Egyptians in this case, when the Lord took off their chariot wheel, he said he took off their chariot wheels, that they drave them heavily. That was a problem. That was a problem for the Egyptians. He took off their chariot wheels, that they drave them heavily, so that the Egyptians said, let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fighteth for them. So it could be when we got little mishaps going on, it could be, and it cannot be, but let's just lean to the side of, it could be that the Lord is trying to, get your attention, because he trying to show you something. But in this case, the Egyptians wasn't going to get away. He had already said that he was going to destroy these people. So let's go and look over here at this. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28, because I'm sure all of us then watch movies and seen in the entertainment industry on the TV. It's always they portraying the black man as the angry black man. You going all the way back to the 80s. I used to love this show called The A-Team. B.A. Baracus. This dude was always upset. Mr. T. He always upset about something. But this is the way they like to portray us, and it's because of the curse that was poured out on our people for disobedience to the laws and statutes of the Most High God. So let's look at this. Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28, and we're going to look at verse 20, and we're going to see one of the curses that was poured out on Israel. And our people are still suffering effects of this curse to this very day. But let me show you this. Exodus 28. Exodus 28. Deuteronomy 28. I'm sorry. Deuteronomy 28, and we're going to look at verse 30. All right. Let's see what this says. Deuteronomy 28. And let's pick it up at verse 30. Because we just having a look at how the Lord, he can frustrate your plans or put some things on you to make you to grab your attention. And the book also says time and chance happeneth to them all. All right, we back up. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with this thing. Okay, let's go over here. Deuteronomy 28, and we have a look at verse 20. Deuteronomy 28 and 20. Okay, there we go. 28 and 20. So look at what the Lord said he was going to send upon our people for disobeying his covenant. He said, the Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke. All of that's discomforting. He said he was going to send upon him cursing, vexation, and rebuke. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, here we go. Okay. So he said, I'm going to start this over again. Deuteronomy 28 and 20. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. So God said, I was going to send upon you vexation and cursing and rebuke. I'm going to frustrate you. Since you want to frustrate me by being disobedient, I'm going to frustrate you as well. Let's go and look at another thing. Let's go and look at Isaiah 51. Let's go and have a look at this. Isaiah 51. And we'll pick it up at verse 20. Isaiah 51 and 20. Let's have a look at this, because God can put some things on you, and we still dealing with Israel right here. But this applies. I mean, you could take this and what is going on? Give me 1 second. I don't know. Let's go over here. Isaiah 51. And we'll pick it up at verse 20 now. I don't know what's going on with this thing. Isaiah 51 and 20. But anyway, so we can take this and consider what's going on over here in our present day life. Let's look at this though. Isaiah 51 and 20. Here we go, right here. Last USB. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm having some technical difficulties right now. I don't know why this cord keep malfunctioning. Okay. So look at this. Let's have a look at some of the stuff that God put on our people for disobeying. And you know, this fits us like a glove. And when I say us, I'm talking about the so-called African American or the Negro here in the United States of America. So pay attention to this. He said, thy sons have fainted. It's like they gave up. He said, they lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in a net. They are full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy God. He said they are full of the fury of the Lord. They upset. So when you walking down the street, you see a corner, a group of little kids or teenagers or young men on the corner, young men and women standing on the corner. He said they standing there, they mad. They mad because of the vexation that God put on them. He said they full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy God. They feel like they don't have no love, but they lawless. They out here doing things that's contrary to God. And of course, God gonna reject you when you doing contrary to him. So let's go over here and look at this now. Let's go and look at Isaiah 52. Isaiah 50, no, 42. I'm sorry. Isaiah 42. Isaiah 42 and 22. So he said they land at the head of all of the streets like a wild bull. They full of the fury of the Lord, right? So let's have a look at this. Let's back up a couple chapters. Let's back up a few. Isaiah 42. And we'll pick it up at verse 22. Because for the most part, when you're hanging around, you're loafing, you're just standing out on the corner, what you expect gonna happen? The lawman gonna come around, he gonna harass you. And if you caught with some stuff you ain't got no business with having, God will deal with you. He gonna use this man to deal with you. So look at this, Isaiah 42, and let's look at this 22. This is dealing with Israel. Let me hide this for y'all. He said, "But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them." I don't know what's up with this thing. He said, "This is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth. For a spoil, and none saith restore." Who else does this happen to? That's us. He said they are all of them snared in holes and hid in prison houses. Here in Illinois, for the most part, you got the prison houses out in the middle of cornfields somewhere, hidden away. This is talking about Israel. Look at what else is happening with our people. He said, "Who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come?" So who is paying attention? Who is really looking at the signs that the Lord is pouring out on the people to get you to return back to him? And he also said, they are for a poor, in verse 22, they are for a spoil, and none saith restore. We don't get no reparations. Our reparations is coming from Jesus Christ when he returned. Until then, we're going to be sitting in captivity, wherever we at, all across the world. So he said they snared in prison holes, hidden in prison houses. They are for a spoil, none saith restore. And look at this, verse 24. Look at this. So as far as being upset with anybody, Black people need to be upset with themselves, because our ancestors disobeyed God's covenant, and we still disobeying his covenant in this very present day in 2022. He said, verse 24, "Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord, he against whom we have sinned?" So these people that's over us, ruling over us with an iron fist, the Lord gave us over to these people's hands. So who you think you need to be seeking for some mercy or comfort? Yeah, that's right. You need to be seeking God. Look and see what else he said. He said, "Did not the Lord against he whom we have sinned? For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient to his law." So God bring punishment on you or discomfort you when you doing contrary to him. Look at what else he said. He said, "Therefore he hath poured upon him the fury of his anger and the strength of battle, and it hath set him on fire round about, yet he knew not. And it burned him, yet he laid it not to heart." So our people are going through all of this stuff, and we see what's happening, but nevertheless, we not even considering what's going on as far as these curses are concerned, or being discomforted, being in an uneasy place. Our people, we try to do all of the marching, all of the protesting, and none of that stuff really has an effect. What we need to be doing, we need to be turning back to our God and being obedient, so he can lift this oppression up off of us, at least ease it in some type of way. So let's go over here. He said, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me see, this USB device not recognized. I don't know what's up with this computer. Let's go over here and look at something. Let's go to Haggai, the first chapter. Let's go and look at Haggai, the first chapter. And this is when they was Israel was going and trying to get the house of God, the temple built back up. But we're gonna have a look at some of the things that God did to discomfort these people when they weren't getting busy for God. So look at this, Haggai 1. Haggai 1, and let's pick it up at verse 3. So look at this. So this is when the Lord came to Haggai. He said, then came the word of the Lord by Haggai the prophet, saying, is it time for you, O ye, to dwell in your sealed houses, and this house lie waste? So he was talking about the temple is laying waste, but y'all living good. He said, now therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider your ways. Ye have sown much. So think about this. You sowing much, you going to work, you working all the overtime, you stacking up a bunch of treasures, right? He said, you have sown much and bring in little. How many times has that happened to us? We out working and it'd be like, where did our check go? Where the money at? He said, you sow much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. So you drinking, you're not even satisfied. He said, ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. So when you go into work, you might as well, after you get your check, just throw all your money out the window. You didn't work. So what is the point of working? We got to consider our ways. Look at what God said. He said, thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider your ways. So when things are out of order, or you are vexed, or you are being discomforted, you need to be turning back to God and asking him to show you what it is you did wrong, or what did you mess up at. So look, he said, go up to the mountain and bring wood and build the house, and I will take pleasure in it, and I will be glorified, saith the Lord. So he was talking about going back and building up the temple. Y'all laying around here in good houses, but the people don't have no place to worship in. Go and build the temple back up. He said, ye look for much, and lo, it came to little. You was looking for a whole lot, but it came to little. And when you brought it home, I did blow upon it. God said, I blew upon it when you brought your stuff home. I blew upon it. He said, why? Saith the Lord of hosts. Because of mine house that is waste, and ye run every man unto his own house. So you see what God will do when you ain't taking care of his business? He'll frustrate your business. He'll frustrate your business plans. So we got to be mindful of this. Let's go and look at something else, because God is talking to us all throughout the day. He's always showing us something, telling us something, but we need to be watching and paying attention to what God is trying to show us. He gonna tell us over here in Job 33. Let's go and look at it. And so, and what God will do too, he'll get your attention to the point to where he'll send you a dream and start talking to you in your dreams and hide your pride from you. Because in some dreams, you be like, man, that was real. Sometimes dreams be super scary. You be like, okay, God, what are you trying to show me? Let's go and look at this. Let's go over here, Job 33. And let's pick it up. Job 33 and 14. Let me hide this for y'all now. Job 33 and 14. Let's see what thus saith the Lord. Let me get this pulled up. So he said, for God speaketh once, yeah, twice, yet man perceiveth it not. God be trying to show us and talk to us all throughout the day, all the time. So when he can't get your attention while you awoke or conscious, he said, in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction. So sometimes God will send you things in a dream and seal up your instruction, tell you what you need to do. He'll let you know what it is he's requiring of you in a dream sometimes, because he's talking to us all throughout the day. He said that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. Man, just do what God said. You don't want to be discomforted by God, because God can put some things on you that will make you hate your life. So we want to be mindful of what we do and how we living. Let's go and look at something else. Let's go and look at somebody else who was discomfited. Let's go and look at because I don't want to make this too long, but it's the word of God, man. Let's go and look at it. We gonna go and look at Acts 10. This ain't gonna be too long, but even if it was, it don't matter no way. Just the word. It's the only thing I feel comfortable doing. I go to work, take care of the family. That's all good, but at the end of the day, this right here, we stacking up treasures in heaven. We trying to take some things out of the Bible and apply it to our life. It can't be nothing better than that. Can't be nothing better than learning how to get salvation and how to live a godly life. Ain't nothing better than that. Look at this. Acts 10. Let's go and look at Cornelius. And what we're going to have a look at over here was Cornelius was an Italian or a Gentile. And God sent the angel to this Gentile to tell him to go and talk to Peter. And what wound up happening was Peter fell into a trance about the 6th hour. So about 12 o'clock, he had fell into a trance. He got hungry. But God was trying to get his attention by bringing this sheet down with all of these 4-footed beasts and creeping things, which was abominable to him, or abominable to be eaten or consumed. So we're going to have a look at this. So look, Acts 10, we're going to hide this. Acts 10, we're going to look at verse 1 through 6. He said, there was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the Italian band, called the Italian band, a devout man and one that feared God with all his house, which gave much alms to the people and prayed to God always. So this Gentile, he was doing what he had to do. But we're going to see over here too that God is not a respecter of persons, whether you Jew, Gentile, Hamite, it don't matter. If you doing the things that's God is requiring of you, you're accepted with him. Look at this. He saw it. He said, he saw in a vision evidently about the 9th hour of the day, an angel of God coming in to him and saying unto him, Cornelius. So he seen an angel coming into him, and this angel talked to him in a vision. He said, and when he looked on him, he was afraid and said, what is it, Lord? And he said unto him, thy prayers and thine alms are come up for a memorial before God. So all of the prayers and the things you was giving out to the people, man, that came up for a memorial before God. God seen what you was doing. So now he said he was going to send Peter to tell him what he needed to do to get him and his whole household saved. So when we read in the scriptures, we read information that can get us and our whole household saved if we apply this. So he said, now send men to Joppa and call for one Simon, whose surname is Peter. He lodges with one Simon, a tanner, whose house is by the seaside. He shall tell thee without all this to do. So now let's skip down to verse 9 now. So he went and got this Israelite, and this Israelite Peter was on his job, because this is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be telling people about what thus saith the Lord, no matter how nobody feel, regardless of where they at in life. We need to be telling the truth all the time. That's why we in this captivity. We in this captivity because we didn't do what thus saith the Lord. So since we over here, we need to be spreading the word wherever we at. Simple as that. He said, on the morrow, as they went on their journey, and drew near unto the city, Peter went up upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour. So it was about 12 o'clock. He went to go and pray. So Peter is going to pray, and we're about to find out how God is going to get his attention. So he became hungry, and he became very hungry, and would have eaten, but while they made ready, he fell into a trance. So they was preparing the food, but he fell into a trance and saw this vision. So look at this. He said, and saw heaven open, and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the 4 corners, and let down to the earth, wherein were all manner of 4-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. So it was a whole bunch of animals on this sheet, right? He said, and there came a voice to him, rise, Peter, kill and eat. So there were some abominable things, or some things that were not to be consumed on this sheet. And look at what Peter said, verse 14. He said, but Peter said, not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. Remember, this is after the death of Jesus Christ, the death and resurrection or the ascension of Jesus Christ. So this would point out to anyone who is new to the word, it should show you that the dietary law is still good, no matter what anybody one is saying. Let me see. What is this? The last USB closes. I don't know why. Give me 1 second. Keep getting this notification. Okay. So here we go again. Let me see something. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Because I think give me a second, y'all. One second. I don't know what's up with this thing. Okay, so anyway, it said he had never had eaten anything that is common or unclean. And he said, verse 15, and the voice spake unto him again the second time, what God hath cleansed, that call not thou common. So he said, what God hath cleaned up, don't call that common, don't call that dirty. He said, this was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again into heaven. Now, while Peter doubted in himself what this vision which he had seen should mean, so his mind was going like, what in the world was that about? Rise, Peter, kill and eat. He was thinking on this. God got many ways to get your attention. He said when he doubted within himself what this vision which he had should mean, behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simon's house and stood before the gate. So after this vision that he had, the Gentiles was out there at his gate waiting to go and take him back to where Cornelius was. He said and called and asked whether Simon, which was surnamed Peter, were lodged there. So let's skip down to verse 25 now. What's happening? I don't know what's up with my computer today. That's okay. We're going to get through it anyway. Because I'm here whether or not it is good or bad. So we're going to keep moving. Let's see. Got to have some spiritual fortitude when Satan's trying to come through on you. So he said, and as Peter was coming in, Cornelius met him and fell down at his feet and worshiped him. So let's have a look at this, because you got some brothers that be telling Gentiles to bow down and kiss their feet. That's totally out of order. That ain't how we supposed to be operating. We all brothers. God said he made every nation out of one blood. But look at this. Look at what Peter did. He said, but Peter took him up saying, stand up. I myself also am a man. So this is how we supposed to be doing, man. Come on. We all brothers. He said, I also am a man. He said, and as he talked with him, he went in and found many that were come together. And now Peter's going to have the realization, oh, this is what it was about. This is what that vision was about. Verse 28. And he said unto them, ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation. But God hath showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. So God was using unclean foods or unclean things that should not be eaten to get Peter's attention, to show him, look, I should not call any man common or unclean. Cornelius and the men that sent for him, they was Gentiles. And at this time, Gentiles and Israelites, they weren't communing with each other like that. They weren't keeping each other's company. So let's go and look at something else. So that's just another way that God can get our attention. Let's go and look at this. 2 Corinthians 12. 2 Corinthians 12, and let's have a look at verse 7. And I apologize for the interruptions. There's something going on with this software, which is to be expected, because nothing that's on this earth is perfect other than the word of God. So let's have a look at this. Thanks for being patient with me, you all. Let's look at this though. 2 Corinthians 12, and let's pick it up at verse 7. 2 Corinthians 12 and 7. So let's have a look. 2 Corinthians 12 and 7. Let's look and see what Paul was saying over here. So look at verse 7. So Paul said it was something put on him, lest he should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations. There was given me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. So we all got some things that probably pricks us, and we could think that we up here, but God can give you some things to keep you humble, have a humbleness of mind. He said, I had a messenger of Satan, lest I should be exalted above measure. God know how to keep you humble. He know how to keep some stuff on you to keep you thinking sound. He said, verse 8, he said, for this thing I besought the Lord thrice that it might depart from me. So whatever this affliction was that Paul was going through, it could have been something with his eyes, possibly. Because of what happened over in Galatians 4 and I believe 19, somewhere around there, where he was talking about, if it was you, let me go and look real quick. It was Galatians 4 around 19. Let me just see. We'll pull it up. Let me see. And this is what made me say that, so you all can have the proof too, and go and look it up yourself. But let's see. Let me see. It's in Galatians 4. Yeah, Galatians 4 and 15. He said, where is then the blessedness ye spake of? For I bear you record that if it had been possible, ye would have plucked out your own eyes and given them to me. So it's possibly something going on with his eyes. Who knows? But I don't know. Verse 9. Look at what Jesus told Paul when he was seeking after God for whatever affliction or discomfiture he was in. He said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. So when you weak, that's when God's strength is made perfect. So embrace that, because you know that the Lord is going to be there to help you and strengthen you and get you out of whatever situation that you're in. But pay attention to when you are in situations. Take the lesson, or ask God what is the lesson that he wants you to learn from this. All right. He says, so most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. So when you got infirmities going on or discomfortures, this is when the Lord is right there with you. He said that the power of Christ may rest upon you. So you know it ain't you doing it on your own. You know it's God doing it for you, or he's working through you. He said, therefore, I take pleasure in mine infirmities. He said, therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. So when you're going through these things, this is when Christ's strength is made perfect. Let's go and look at another thing now. Let's go and look at somebody who was lame and wanted to get healed. And after the Lord healed him, he had told him something. But let's go and look at it. We're going to go and read it together. John 5. And we only got a couple more verses after this. 2 more spots, and then we're going to let it rest. So John 5, and let's look at verse 2. Let me hide this for y'all now. John 5 and 2. So it said, now there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches. So this pool, whenever any blind or impotent or people that was had short arms or had any type of ailment or the deformity, the angel would trouble the water and they would get in there and they would be healed of whatever it was ailing them. So we're going to have a look at when Jesus came, when he saw this man, he healed him, but he told him something after he healed him. Look at this. He said, and immediately, this was that impotent man that was that the Lord had told him to rise up and take up his bed and walk. He said, and immediately the man was made whole and took up his bed and walked. And on the same day was a Sabbath day. So he said, the Jews therefore said unto him that was cured, it is a Sabbath day. It is not lawful for thee to carry thy bed. They always coming up with their own righteousness. He said, he answered them, he that made me whole, the same said unto me, take up thy bed and walk. He said, the same one that told me to that made me whole. He said, take up my bed and walk. So look, verse 14 now. He said, and afterward, Jesus finding him in the temple, talking about this man that was made whole. Jesus saw him again in the temple and said unto him, behold, thou art made whole. Sin no more, lest the worst thing come upon thee. So sometimes our sins is what gets us discomforted. Sometimes our sins is what warrant God to, man, put something on you, get your attention to come back here. Remember, before I was afflicted, I went astray, according to David over in Psalms 119. So let's go and have a look at this now. So we want to stay away from sin because God will continually try to put things on you to get your attention to come back to him. And if you don't listen, it's going to be a problem. We're going to see it in a few. But look at what happened once you give up sin and then you go back to it. He'll bring some more stuff with him. Look at this. Let's go to Matthew 12. Matthew 12. So Jesus told this man, this impotent man, go and sin no more, lest a worse thing come upon you, right? So let's go and have a look at this. Matthew 12. And we'll pick it up at verse 43. Matthew 12 and 43. Let's see what thus said the Lord. Look at what he said. Here we go. 43. He said, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest and findeth none. So once you put away your sin, leave it away. Leave it where it's at. Keep it cut off. Don't go back. Because if you do, look, he said, then he saith, I will return unto my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. So it's cleaned up. So this spirit is he's seen that you didn't clean your act up, but you didn't fell back to some folly. Look at what's gonna happen. He gonna bring that spirit is gonna come back on you with 7 more, and you're gonna be your latter end is gonna be worse than the first. Look at this. He said, then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. So once you didn't let sin alone, you didn't left that lifestyle alone, do not go back, because your last state will be worse than the first. This other spirit is going to bring other things with it. Prime example, somebody who was addicted to drugs. Now they not only probably addicted to drugs, now they prostituting, now they stealing, now they disobeying God. Now it's all kind of other stuff going on. So it just opens up a floodgate of sin and it'll ruin you. So let's leave that stuff alone. So let's go and have a look at this now. Let's go and look at another way and a final way. And after this, we're going to let it rest over here. We're going to look at how the Lord continues to get your attention and makes you uncomfortable or vexes you. But if you don't return, you're going to have to see him. Let's go and look at this though. Amos 4. Amos 4, and we'll pick it up. Amos 4, and let's pick it up at verse 6. Amos 4 and 6. So look at this. Amos 4, let's start at verse 6. Then we'll skip down to verse 9. So pay attention to this, because God is always trying to get our attention. So this is what we need to do. So look at what God said he did to the nation of Israel back then. He said, and I also have given you cleanness of teeth in all your cities. When your teeth is clean, you ain't ate nothing. He said, and one of bread in all your places. See? Yet have ye not returned unto me, saith the Lord. He said, I gave you cleanness of teeth and one of bread. Your food was short. And a lot of times when that food goes short, you be looking for the Lord. Lord, where's the food? What, can you help me? Remember, the book said the eyes of all wait upon the Lord. He opened his hand and they are satisfied. Let's skip down to verse 9 now. So look at what else God does. He said, I have smitten you with blasting and mildew. When your gardens and your vineyards and your fig trees and your olive trees increased, the palmer worm devoured them. He said, I sent the bug to eat up y'all stuff. God got control over all of this. He said, I sent the palmer worm. This is why sometimes too, we need to be careful. What we can take from this, if you got a plague in your house, rats and mice and roaches and bed bugs, maybe you did something for God to send that plague through. It ain't just somebody you had some company and it fell off on them. No, because God is in control of everything. You better be aware of what's going on. You better consider your ways, like we read earlier. He said, the palmer worm devoured them. Yet have ye not returned unto me, saith the Lord. So the worm destroyed their crops. And they still didn't turn back to the Lord. They still didn't consider what they were doing. So this is what we need to be doing. When God is putting things on us, from the littlest things, somebody broke your car window, somebody hit something. Look, Lord, I'm sorry. Can you help me? Show me what it is you try. What is it that you're trying to show me? What do I need to do? Sometimes he could just be getting you back from some of the sins that you committed. He said, I have sent, verse 10. He said, I have sent among you the pestilence after the manner of Egypt. Your young men have I slain with the sword, and have taken away your horses, and I have made the stink of your camps to come up into your nostrils. He said, I didn't kill people. I didn't made the smell of dead bodies come up into your nostrils. He said, yet have ye not returned unto me, saith the Lord. So the Lord is always doing things to get your attention. Over in what was that, Leviticus 26, he said, if you walk contrary unto me, I'll walk contrary unto you, even 7 times more in fury. You ain't gonna win no fight with God. He gonna get you. It's gonna reach a point to where you continue to sin and do things that's contrary to him. You gonna meet him face to face. This is what we about to have a look at. He said, I have overthrown some of you, as God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, and ye were as a firebrand plucked out of the burning. Yet have ye not returned unto me, saith the Lord. So he said, man, I didn't destroy some of y'all. I didn't save some of y'all, and you still didn't return to me. Look at what the Lord said now. Since I'm doing all of these things to get your attention, and you still not gonna return to me? Okay. He said, I got something for you. He said, verse 12, thus saith the Lord, therefore thus will I do unto thee, O Israel, and because I will do this unto thee, prepare to meet thy God, O Israel. He said, man, I'm tired of you. I'm about to lay you in the ground, and then when you wake up, you're gonna have to see me standing face to face with me. You got the answer for why you wasn't doing what I told you to do. So we want to avoid that. We want to make sure if God is putting something on our heart, or if he's whooping us or chastising us, or things is uncomfortable for us, we want to make sure we turn back to the Lord and ask him and question him about what it is that we need to be doing to be pleasing to him. So with that being said, we're going to let it rest, and let's see who we got on. Peace to everybody that's joining in as well. Let's see who we got. Let's see. All right, let me see. Let me hide this right here. Thanks for joining in, everybody. Let me hide this screen. All right. Wait a minute. Is the stream messed up? Can y'all, let me see. I don't know what's going on with this thing. 1 second, y'all. I don't know what's up with this thing. Give me a second. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what. Look, I'm being discomforted. Praise God, though. So look, let's have a look. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this thing. Like, I don't know what's happening with this. So let's see. Let's see. All right. Can y'all see that? Oh, okay. Here we go. Peace, Sister Liz. How you doing, sis? Praying for you. Hey, peace, Sister Jerry. Peace, sis. All right. All right. Hey, peace, bro. Josh, Line, and Zion. How you doing, bro? Out in DC. Yes, sir. All right. Hey, peace, wife. She said peace to everybody as well. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Hey, peace, bro. Chris. How you feeling, bro? All right. Peace, bro. David Israel. Peace, bro. Peace, bro. Reggie. How you doing, bro? All right. let's see. Peace, bro. Pat, how you feeling, man? Good to see you on here. Peace, sister Soraya. Peace, bro. Ron, how you doing, bro? Okay. Hey, peace, brother. Brother, sister. I'm sorry. That's my apologies. I'm looking at the next one. Peace, sister Candy. How you feeling, sis? Peace, sister Urandi. Peace, sister Jaleesa. All right. And let's see who else. I think that's about it. But let me see. Because I don't want nobody. I know sister Tavia logs on. Peace to her. Peace to my brother Elan. Peace to everybody that's tuning in, because I can't see this thing been messing up lately. So let me see. So I don't want nobody to feel left out or anything like that. But hey, this app that I'm using, it don't always show me who owns. So I just want to show y'all, man. Look, we all in this fight together. Let me see. Hang on. Let me see. I just want to show y'all, man. Let me see. Here we go. Peace, Sister Kim, and peace to everybody else, because I can't see who else is tuned in, but I know my brother Big Ed. Peace to him. I said Sister Tavia, and peace to everybody that's joining in as well. Like I said, so as always, we need to always be praying. You know, not just at 3 o'clock, but 3 o'clock is the hour of prayer. And we read also too that the 6 hours, so 12 o'clock. But we need to be praying all the time for each other. Also, any homeless, less fortunate, let's take care of them. Let's get our households in order. You know, let's start with us. Let's start cleaning up our act. Let's start doing what we need to do. So, hey, peace, bro, Kalim. How you doing, brother? All right. So let's start cleaning up our act. Let's start doing what we need to do to, to stand in front of the Lord, because everything that we do is going to be held against us or for us, you know. So we're going to be judged by everything that we said, did. So we want to make sure that before we meet God, that we want to make sure we right. So with that being said, may the Spirit of God rest upon each and every one of you all. I'm always praying for all of us. You know, and what we're going to do, we're going to continue to keep fighting this fight of faith. We're going to keep pushing forward, because we know that this world is passing away. And once again, peace and love to everybody. I love you all. We'll be back tomorrow, 4 o'clock. If anybody, like I said, because this is not my channel. This is just a channel that I'm a steward over. So, anybody got any suggestions or anything they want to talk about, deal with, bring it up, hit me up on Facebook or whatever the case, and we'll bring it out. So with that being said, may God be with each and every one of us. Peace and love. I love y'all. See y'all back tomorrow, 4 o'clock, Lord willing. Peace.